After over a decade away, NASCAR returns to the Rock. We get you set for our best Xfinity and Truck Series bets for Rockingham on a brand new episode of the Backroad coming right at you.
It's a non-points race, but it is a short race. Checker flag. That's all this race
All right, and welcome down the back road in between media's NASCAR betting program. No NASCAR Cup Series race this weekend in respect to Easter, but we still got Truck and Xfinity Series going off at the Rock. Yes, Rockingham Speedway in Richmond County, North Carolina is back. I'm your host, Seth Woolcock. Elliott Hicks, out of town. Rod Villagomez, out of town. I got my producer in the back end, Nicolette, riding with us. And as Lupe Fiasco says, the show goes on. Tonight's program looks like this in the rear view. We'll react to a wild weekend at Bristol, plus give you a quick NASCAR news update. We also got Horizon Forecast. We're going to break down Rockingham and the return to it. We also got Parking Garage Props, our best bets for the Xfinity and Truck Series. Shout out to the IBT Racing family who's riding with me tonight in the chat. Looks like we had Marcus who was tuning in only about 3 hours early. We appreciate you, Marcus. What's going on, man? Also, Nicolette saying beach day for Easter as a stereotypical Californian. Whew, man, that would be a good one. That would be a good one, Nicolette. I got my brother's bachelor party this weekend, so that should be a good one. We got about 36 to 48 holes of golf happening over the next couple days. So going to be a fun one there. Hopefully enjoy some racing as well. We got Nick tuning in. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate everyone who tunes in with us, man. It really makes these episodes, these solo ones, a bit more fun. We can all kind of get together, share our thoughts. I want to hear from you in the comments. I want to hear from you in the live chat as well. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the Rock. Let me know your thoughts on last week's Bristol race. Also, if you can't get enough of us here on this particular program, you can hang out with us in our IBT Racing family. You're going to get access to our exclusive weekly betting model. No betting model this week with no Cup Series race, but it's been hot. Last week it said, hey, whatever you're going to do, bet Denny Hamlin and bet Kyle Larson. We did. We won big. Also, you're going to get in our Discord, myself, Rod. We also got our guy Elliott over there and Ryan from myfantasyrace.com and the rest of the racing family. Always talking NASCAR, always talking motorsports betting in there. Also, we're going to get you into our entry into our giveaways. That's $3.99 per month to join the IBT Racing family. You're going to get access to all that. We got a Joey Logano signed polo. That's the next one that's going to go out here in just a couple of weeks. So make sure you guys are hanging out with us for that. Thank you to all the new members lately over there. Been really cool to see some different faces, different opinions. I know we had some pretty good winning weekends over the past month or so. So we hope to keep that rolling here into late August or late April. Man, if it was August, we would be almost done with this season. Keeping it rolling though here. Nick saying Easter Sunday with the family. Good stuff, Nick. Good stuff. Absolutely, man. If you guys want to check out the audio version of the show as well, we highly, highly encourage you to. The link is in the episode description. If you can just go over there, give us 5 stars, give us a quick review. We're going to enter you in some micro giveaways. Elliot has a Josh Berry 164th to a random reviewer we're going to throw out to you. So we're just kind of starting the audio thing. We've been doing YouTube for years, but if you can help us out there over there on the audio side, we can quickly kind of climb that ladder. And the only way you can climb it is getting reviews. So if you guys can help us out there, Apple Podcasts, please. We post our episode there every Friday. So if you're on the go, if you don't want to look at this ugly ass face every week, that's all right. I understand. You can just, get us over there in the audio, but we appreciate hanging out with us here on YouTube as well. And I think that's about everything from a housekeeping perspective, guys. Busy time here at IBT. So as always, please, if you enjoy this type of content, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe if you're new. We got NFL, college football, PGA, NASCAR, F1, and some entertainment betting happening right here on the YouTube channel at inbetweenmedia.com as well. And let's go ahead. Let's talk about Bristol. Let's talk about a little news here in the rear view. All right, so we're coming back from Bristol. Really fun racing out there. Like, I know the whole conversation right now on the internet is what are we doing at these short tracks in the Cup Series? But let's start here in the trucks. The trucks, fun race. Chandler Smith gets his first win of the season, holds off Kyle Larson, who just didn't seem to have it, didn't seem to have the equipment in this one. Corey Heim, of course, in that top 5 as well. Kind of your usual suspects playing out there in the Truck Series. But we saw some surprises. He didn't get the finish that he wanted, but Bailey Curry going out there winning a stage for losing his suspension in that last stage, that was pretty cool. So wanted to shout out Bailey Curry. Thought he had a nice run going on there. But yeah, Chandler Smith gets it done, man. The internet not been too kind to Chandler Smith lately. A lot of allegations being thrown around. So good to see him at least getting into the winner's circle despite that. On Saturday, it was your usual Kyle Larson, mop up the floor fest in the Xfinity series. Really thought, someone might be able to put up somewhat of a fight here, but Kyle Larson is just an absolute ace when it comes to Bristol, specifically in the Xfinity and the Cup car. I mean, my goodness, the only one who really had anything for him at the end was, I thought, Carson Kvapil started to kind of match lap times with him at one point. So Kyle Larson comes out, he dog walks the field on Saturday, comes out then on Sunday, dog walks the field as well. If leading 276 laps wasn't impressive enough on Saturday, comes back, leads 411 laps on Sunday. Of course, we also had some other contenders in that race. His teammate Alex Bowman on the pole fell out of contention early, had an issue, and it was really the Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin show from there. Hamlin at points felt like he was starting to make a little bit of progress, but really that was Larson's race from start to finish. And that was one of our best weekends as far as betting is concerned as well. I mean, shout out to our guys over at BetRivers. They gave us a 50% boost. We put it to use. We put it on Kyle Larson. We hit a plus 675 outright, put 1.5 units on that. We also hit the Kyle Larson top 5 for 3 units. The Denny Hamlin top 5 for 3 units as well, minus 120, minus 130 on those. And then on Saturday, we hit the Ryan Sieg top 10. That was even money at ESPN Bet for 2.5 units. And then also Connor Zilisch against Austin Hill for 2 units there on Saturday as well. So really great week, honestly, 5-4 weekend. And the misses were just some sprinkles on some long shots. So up 15.5 units, biggest weekend of the season so far for the kid. And of course, it was the week I wasn't on the show. So if you guys were hanging out with Rod and Elliot, I know Elliot, I don't know about Rod, but I know Elliot didn't have the best week. But if you're hanging out with us in the Discord, I put my whole betting card there. It's always at bettingpros.com as well, my weekly article. But great week for us. And that was one of those weeks, like, keep it simple, stupid, right? You bet Kyle Larson, you bet Denny Hamlin when we go to Bristol, and you don't overthink it. That's really what we have to start doing, and not, I get no one wants to bet a plus 375, 4-1 outright. I can understand that. But at the same time, when Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson are putting out 2 of the best IBT grades in our betting projections, you got to trust it, man. And it delivered last week for us. Should have done a Quinella. That was like my one big take. I was like, man, should have done a Quinella or something on Larson and Hamlin, because I had a great feeling they were going to be 1-2 last week, and they really were. So let me know your guys' thoughts on Bristol. Like, I'll say from a fan perspective, boring ass race. Like the Cup Series race, and honestly, like the whole weekend, it felt like there was really one car, one truck to beat in each of those races. Didn't exactly have the most exciting race on Sunday. I know Saturday, like, we were all like, oh man, like we might be getting back into spring 2024 Bristol territory, where this rubber is just coming right off this tire. You're seeing it all up in the marbles there. And it's really like we're figuring out now, like, the weather's always the X factor. If it's cold, we're going to see that type of tire wear probably in this next gen car. If it's not cold, you're probably not going to see it. Like it just doesn't happen without having some type of option tire hitting it, right? But yeah, so boring ass race. I mean, great for gambling. That's exactly what you wanted for gambling, right? Like, what wasn't fun to watch from a fan perspective, but that's why we do, have the ability to put a little coin on some things. So really appreciate Bristol putting on a great show as always. And let me know one more time and love to hear what your guys' thoughts are kind of on the tire situation. Like, I'm not one of these guys who feel like I have the answer. I'm going to be honest. I think there's better people who have opinions on this, who know a bit more about what's going on under the hood of this equipment. But yeah, like from a fan perspective, we do want to save short tracks. We got to figure out something. I think Goodyear's making attempts, and like, I get that it's gimmicky, but at the end of the day, if you need to throw on option tires and having two different option tires at a short track to make it better, I'm okay with it. Like, I really am at this point. It would make for better racing. Might hurt the betting a little bit, but from an overall sports standpoint, we want the sport to be good as gamblers. So the books are inclined to put out more and more markets, and we have more and more people who like to consume this type of content. So let's go ahead. Let's get into some news as well that kind of came out of Bristol. Kyle Larson had some absolutely wild comments on Kevin Harvick's happy hour that came out on Monday. So let's take a listen to what Kyle Larson had to say after dog walking the field, not only on Saturday, but on Sunday as well.
In Xfinity, I do get motivated, and this is going to come across like very cocky, but I want to embarrass them, honestly. Like, I want to embarrass NASCAR a little bit. I want to, because they just don't let Cup guys run anymore. And the kids, like, they probably think they're in a good spot, and like, they don't know where the bar is really at. So I like to go run those Xfinity races and just get 10-second leads to, let them realize that they've got a lot of room to improve. And I think that's only better for our sport too, is, when those young guys can compete with Cup guys, they're better suited for the Cup Series once they get there. So it's just, yes, I want to smash the field when I run Xfinity.
And listen, I have been overly critical at times of Kyle Larson. Just being honest with you, I feel like sometimes for him being really what I claim to be the best race car driver in the world, I'm talking all series here. Yes, come at me F1 fans if you want, come at me IndyCar fans if you want. I think Kyle Larson is the best race car driver in the entire world. I don't care what he's in. He makes some bad moves sometimes. However, I think he's spot on here, guys. I think he's absolutely spot on here because, look, we have a real issue. Like, when's the last time we've seen someone come out of the Xfinity series and really start, laying the hammer some Cup guys and really showing out? I mean, yeah, we had Chase Briscoe a couple years ago, goes out, has an 8-win Xfinity series season, starts to make a little bit of noise early, kind of in a bad situation there at SHR. And then Austin Cindric, kind of that same class there as well, that had a couple of good races, still kind of hangs around that top 15 a lot of the time. Great super speedway racer, pretty good little road course racer when he gets a clean start as well. So, like, you do have guys like that, but I mean, Ty Gibbs, huge disappointment in Cup so far to get this far and really not having, like, outside of maybe the All-Star race or the All-Star Open, winning that last year, then also having a good shot at winning the Busch Light Clash last year in LA. Like, Ty Gibbs hasn't done much in the Cup Series, and like, we all love Noah Gragson. He has his spots, and like, some of these, I'm not saying these young guys aren't good, but I mean, I'm sure we'll see some more younger guys make some noise quicker, with Connor Zilisch probably coming to that next level here, maybe as early as 2026. But we haven't seen these guys translate to the next level, and I think it's because it's a lot of these guys who are pay for play now, right? Like, Joey Logano talked about it a couple weeks ago on Sirius. Like, Joey Logano from a young age was paid to drive a race car. These kids are paying to get in these race cars. So I'm not always saying it's a bad thing, not saying they're not talented, they're not deserving. Not at all, because I have so much respect for these guys and how much they've put in their craft and even off the racetrack with their activations and their fans and everything they're doing from a marketing standpoint. It's awesome. But, we're going to talk about them later tonight, but you don't get a lot of Carson Kvapils who are in the garage working on their cars before they get up to this level. You don't get a lot of that anymore. You don't get guys like Ross Chastain who had to cut their teeth, or Josh Berry. Like these are why we celebrate these guys, is because they're rare these days. And, it feels like sometimes, especially in the Xfinity series, you got a lot of guys like Sammy Smith are out there just being assholes, being reckless. And, you can say the same thing about Christian Eckes last year, took away a win away from Taylor Gray as well at Martinsville in the truck series. Like, you have these guys who the line of respect is not there. And for a guy like Kyle Larson to be like, hey, I want to go out there. I want to embarrass these guys. I want to prepare them for the next level. It is going to help our sport. He's absolutely right. We can't have guys who are just going to come in and with Denny Hamlin's gone, when Kyle Busch is gone, we have Kyle Larson, we have Chase Elliott, Chris Bell, maybe Ryan Blaney, but then it's just them every week. It's going to be them every week if these Xfinity guys can't take to the next level. So I love Kyle Larson kind of, wearing the badge of honor. Hey, if I got to be the villain here, if I got to take some shit and I get the JRM guys going after me and I get the JGR guys going after me down there. Oh, well, like think about how many bushwhackers we used to have in the day. Kyle Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr., amazing Xfinity driver who would consistently drop down. Mark Martin before that. I mean, there have been so many for so long. Dale Earnhardt Sr., dude, like bushwhacking is a part of it. They don't let you do it anymore, which I think is good for the series. Like, it kind of helps the series build its own identity a little more. So I'm still for some type of limit. Like, maybe like 7 races would be fine, but I'm fine with the 5 races rule. Honestly, I'm fine with not doing Dash for Cash races. I'm fine with not doing playoff races. Like, I like having the Xfinity series as its own thing, but I love a guy like Kyle Larson who isn't afraid to, hey, I want to beat the shit out of these guys. I want to be the next Kyle Busch where people are scared to race me, and I want to lap everyone. So love this attitude from Kyle Larson. Kind of love this little debate going on there in the internet about it too. So let me know down in the live chat. Let me know down in the comments your guys' thoughts on Kyle Larson's comments here, because I absolutely love him. And you guys know me. If you watch this particular program for any amount of time, I could be hard on Kyle Larson, but congrats to him, almost getting the sweep done. I'm sure we'll see a Kyle Larson sweep in the future. Not scheduled to run any more Xfinity Series race. Maybe we see that changed after these comments. I would love to see it. Maybe next year Dale could get him on some type of limited Xfinity Series schedule, kind of just like what Ross Chastain and SVG are doing for him this year. So that would be really cool. But yeah, Kyle Larson, great weekend for him. Let's go ahead and move forward though, guys. We're going to look at the upcoming races at the Rock in the Horizon forecast. Let's break it down.
Hey, Michael, it was only 20% chance of rain. I think we got all 20.
All right, so Rockingham. This is just over a mile D-shaped asphalt oval with 22 to 25 degree banking in the corners and 8 degrees on the straightaways. This was a track that was on the NASCAR schedule starting in 1962. By the time we got to like the mid-80s, Rockingham was hosting multiple Cup, multiple Xfinity Series races every single year. We did remove the track here in 2004. I feel like it was more of an upkeeping thing from what I have seen. They did have a couple of Truck Series races back here in the early 2010s, 2013, 2014 specifically, but we have not been here in 10 plus years. We haven't been here in Cup in 20 plus years. So there's not a lot to go off here. And the crazy thing about this is like this is one of those other like unique shorter tracks, right? There's no primary comp that we can pull out of the bag here and say, hey, this is exactly like Rockingham. There's not that. But we do have a couple secondary comps, and like I would definitely love to hear people's opinions on this too, because I've heard different opinions out there on the internet. Like I think Dover is a secondary comp track because Dover is a unique 1 mile track with similar banking. I think this will drive a lot like Dover will, especially in the Xfinity car. And Darlington, also our guy Ryan over at ifantasyrace.com, he said it reminds him of a Darlington, but the surface will not be worn. So a little bit short of a Darlington, kind of a Dover-esque as well. Those are really the only 2 comps I'm looking at. I'm really going to be going off a lot of recent form tonight as well. I think we're kind of forced to. We have to play who's hot, who's not a little bit more than we'd like to, because we just don't have the specific track stats like we usually do. No iFantasyRace.com * Mark Driver of the Week. Ryan will be back with that next week, so make sure you're plugging in over there at iFantasyRace.com. Appreciate everything he does for us over here. Also, no trends. We got no trends for Rockingham, so we're kind of flying blind a little bit. Like my advice for you this week from a betting perspective, guys, like let's have fun. Let's get invested a little bit, but like let's not go out there. I think right now, looking at my card, I think I probably have like maybe 7 or 8 units like that. That's going to probably be my entire card for the week, like probably down half of what I'm usually playing. I'm just not that interested. The book's pretty juicy as well, but so just kind of keep it tight, enjoy some time with the family. But there's still some opportunities to make money. I'll share my best bets here in a little bit. Looking at some of these weekend schedule notes, just something to be aware of. Truck practice and qualifying, that's going to start 12:30 Eastern time on Friday. So we need to be down and invested early. I recommend, if you like any of the plays, I'm going to toss out there. I got a couple matchups. If you want to fade me, that's fine too. But I recommend doing it sooner rather than later, because also 3:05 Eastern time tomorrow on Friday as well, Xfinity Series practice. So make sure you guys are getting down early this weekend. Who knows if we're going to get odds back? Like 12:30 is the truck practice, 5 p.m. Eastern time, the truck race on Friday, the Black Tires 200. So I want to be invested early here. Probably not going to be adding too much from practice and qualifying. We can definitely learn a lot, specifically more in the Xfinity Series, knowing we'll get some odds back up by Saturday morning. And on Saturday morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, that's when you'll have Xfinity Series qualifying. That'll again be on the CW app. And then we'll have the Xfinity Series race on CW, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. The North Carolina Education Lottery 250 presented by Black's Tire. Yo, shout out Black's Tire. Never fucking heard of Black's Tire, but they're sponsoring both races. Have you guys, let me know in the comments, had one of you guys heard of a Black Tires? Kind of reminds me of like a Mavis Tire. Never in my life have I ever heard of a Mavis Tire Mavis Brakes, excuse me, which was Denny Hamlin's sponsor last year. And then I'm going on my way up to the Pocono race, and I see Mavis Tire for the first time. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Obviously got to bet Denny Hamlin out in the middle of nowhere, see a Mavis Tire. And then last week, my buddy, we were going out to golf, and he's like, hey, pick me up at the Mavis Tire here in town. Okay, there surely can't be more than one Mavis Tire in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. There is, guys. There is. So Mavis Tire grown, and apparently our guys Blacks also grown. So shout out Blacks. We appreciate you. But that's everything really from where I'm pulling my data from. Kind of a little bit of a quicker show. We'll go ahead. We'll jump into the bets now as well. But that's really what we got for the Rock. It's kind of a limited sample size. You're gonna throw some plays out there either way. Let's jump in here on the Punk Garage Props. All right, guys. So we're going to start in the Xfinity Series. I mean, just absolutely juiced odds, guys. It's so crazy that when you're talking about impressions of the books, hard to want to get invested a lot this weekend when you are getting such limited odds. If you want to chase Justin Allgaier has been so hot. If you want to bet him this week, I don't blame you. I'd rather bet a top 3 or top 5 on him, and you can't get that. And with just how limited the top of the card is here, like I think Austin Hill's underpriced. I think both RCR guys are way overpriced. So like I'm not seeing a lot of value out there. But I am with some of these JRM cars. So let's go ahead and get into it with the guy on the thumbnail, Carson Kvapil, outright 14-1 at FanDuel. I'm going a half unit on this. And I just spent 5-6 minutes shit on the Xfinity Series, but like this is my favorite series to watch. It's my favorite series to bet most weeks as well. And Carson Kvapil is everything that's right with it right now. Sure, he's a legacy, but he's worked for everything he's gotten. And even though he's come up quickly through JRM, he was also there working on their late model, learning the process. And he's a damn good driver, guys. Currently 6th in the standings is Carson Kvapil in his rookie season. Back-to-back top 5s coming off of him, including a P2 last week at Bristol. Again, he was running similar lap times to Kyle Larson last week. So I really like what Carson Kvapil's been doing. He also had a P5 2 weeks ago at our comp track of Darlington. So that goes well for him. Also, second at Dover last season in his second ever Xfinity Series start. That was crazy. Elliot and I were there, boots on the ground, covering it for you guys from a gambling perspective. And I mean, we were both stunned. I had Carson Kvapil for a top 5 that cashed that day. Elliot had the outright, and that almost hit as well. So that was a crazy circumstance. And like the number one car is going off as low as 10-1 a lot of books. So I'm absolutely fine with right now 14-1 at FanDuel. There's a chance if he qualifies good, you might have a cash out as well waiting for you at the other side. So give me a little Carson Kvapil on the outright. I'm also going to go with his JR Motorsports teammate this weekend, Connor Zilisch, 10-1 at DraftKings. Half a unit. I'm down here. Like, you guys know we've talked about it so far this year. Like, Elliot and I and Rod as well, we're riding that Connor Zilisch wave this year. We have that generational over 1.5 win season win total. Waiting for that to cash here probably any week. And I think this might be the week we do cash that. He gets a second win in the Xfinity Series this season. This is 10-1, just way too long. Everywhere else is like 8.5-1. I've seen 7.5-1s on Connor Zilisch. I've seen 9.5-1 as well, or 9-1. So to get a 10-1 feels pretty good. This kid just finds speed wherever he goes. That's very evident when you look at the metrics as well. He has a 6.6 average starting position. That is third best among full-time drivers. He won the pole at Martinsville. Started second at Homestead, started second at Bristol as well. So like these short tracks, he knows how to start fast, how to get speed out of the car every single week. He's ran good at Vegas. He's ran good at Phoenix as well, at least putting it top 5 to start. I think you're going to get positive closing line value if you bet this now. So, now I'm back on Connor Zilisch, finished 6th at Darlington 2 weeks ago. Won the Dover ARCA race last year when we were there too. Again, these are our comp tracks. They're Dover and they're Darlington. 6th at Darlington. Won Dover ARCA race last year as well. So, I think if Justin Allgaier slips up, I think there's a very good chance that either Connor Zilisch or Carson Kvapil are walking away with this and keeping it in the JRM family. So those are my outrights for the Xfinity Series. Again, that's Carson Kvapil, 14-1 at FanDuel, Zilisch, 10-1 at DraftKings. I also have a placement prop bet for you guys as well. A little bit of a longer shot. Reeling back the units, I'm only going 0.6 of a unit on this. This is William Sawalich, top 10, 4-1 at Caesars. Been a pretty dud of a rookie season for Sawalich and JGR. 23rd in the points right now, just 2 top 10s for the kid, and none in the past 6 races as well. I think he gets that cleaned up a little bit here, guys. Like Dover was one of those races last year. We were actually betting him to win that ARCA race on some offshores last year. And like he said in an interview last year that he wanted to win Dover really bad. He's good at Dover, should have won Dover the ARCA race the year before in the ARCA race as well. So this is a kid we know that's good at Dover. Also, we'll be running the ARCA race before Xfinity this weekend too. So should get a little more experience to help him this weekend. So I really like William Sawalich on top 10. Like, do I think he can finish top 5? Probably not. Do I think William Sawalich could probably finish somewhere between 7th and 12th? Yes. And to have a 4-1 on a guy who, hey, if I lose 0.6 of a unit here, I'm all right riding it, honestly, because I think he's going to be a guy who's going to sneak into the back half of that top 10. And it's all the way down at plus 280 over ESPN bet for a top 10. So I'll take a 0.6 unit flyer on him at 4-1 at Caesars. Also, shout out to Caesars. Finally getting the Xfinity top 10 market. It's been a while. Haven't seen this from them since last year at Talladega. So was happy to see them back here. And ESPN bet, they've been doing it every week. Bet365 most weeks has those Xfinity top 10s as well. But Caesars, no Cup Series odds. Like, hey, we'll give you some top 10s out here. So we appreciate that, Caesars. And my favorite bet of the weekend, guys, this is the hammer. This is the hammer. If you leave this program tonight betting one thing on my card, please let it be this. Carson Kvapil, minus 110 at Caesars against our dear friend Kasey Kahne. I laid 3.5 units down on this. You guys know me. I love betting matchups. I love betting Xfinity Series matchups as well. And I love seeing Kasey Kahne back in the car. And he did test here in this Richard Childress racing car that he'll be driving in. So, like, there is something about Kasey Kahne that I get could be alluring. I've seen him up here in Pennsylvania in the sprint car. I have driven past down his shop there right before you get to JRM and right before Tricon as well down there in Mooresville. So like I know he's been up to a lot. I know he's not stagnant by any means, but this is a guy who still has not driven a NASCAR Cup, truck, or Xfinity Series vehicle since 2018. Since 2018, guys. We're 7 years ago at this point. And also, again, I love Kasey Kahne, but like, let's not forget that one of the reasons he left the sport, among funding issues and other things like that, wanted to spend more time with his family. He had like legit dehydration issues with his body in the car. I think there's a chance Kasey Kahne's gonna get out of the car and be like, I'm just happy he's there, man. Because this is not easy, dude. Like we've seen it last year with Clint Boyer. Sometimes we get lucky, and Dale, when he comes back, he gets a rocket. But these older guys traditionally don't go out and have top 3, top 5 runs. And I think that's what Carson Kvapil can do. Like Carson is like right around this even money range to get a top 10 or did top 5. But instead, like, I'm just going to bet him to beat Kasey Kahne because I think he could get 7th and beat Kasey Kahne. I think maybe Kasey could get top 10. Maybe. But, like, this is still a third RCR car. We don't know a ton about it. And, yeah, so it's just really hard to get invested with Kasey Kahne. Like, I love him here. And, like, you guys just heard my whole Carson Kvapil spiel. Like, top 6 in the standings. And like, it's just a misprice. Carson Kvapil should not be the underdog. A top 6 car against Kasey Kahne, a guy who's not driving any type of NASCAR equipment within the last 7 years. So that's really all there is to it. Kasey Kahne, I love you. I'm going to be excited to see you out there this weekend, but I am fading you in this matchup against our guy Carson Kvapil this weekend, -110 at Caesars, total misprice. And let's go ahead. Let's flip over to the truck series now. This is a race. This is extremely hard to handicap. You think that this Xfinity one is hard to handicap, not being back to the Rock in so many years? Well, at least we have comp tracks. We have the closest comp track we have to this in trucks is Darlington last spring, guys. That is, I mean, we're going back 12 months, man. Like I can't. So like my advice to you, if you want to bet Corey Heim, if you want to take a flyer on an outright, go ahead, do it, follow your heart. Like there's not much to go off this weekend. I will be looking at Darlington of last year for my bets for this. And I will also be looking at recent form a lot as well, because it's all we can really do here. So I'm staying out of the outright markets. I'm not betting a +180 on Corey Heim. I don't have enough faith in these other guys either with just no track experience. Matt Crafton's been out here before. Johnny Sauter's not in this race, I don't think, but he would have experience too. But like, there's just not guys who have driven this track before. So it's hard to get overly invested. Again, we're going to have a 5-hour window from practice is going to start on Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. It's qualifying will probably end right around 2:30. So there might be a 2 or 3 hour window there. I'll be on the golf course at this point. So I might be scrolling, seeing what I can find out there, seeing how practice went. But you might have a 2 or 3 hour window where the books maybe put something back up. But if you want to get invested with something now, I have 2 head-to-heads that I love this week, and I will talk to you about them here. First one being Layne Riggs. I got this -108 at BetRivers against Sammy Smith. I'm going 2.5 units on this one. This was originally -134. I've seen it as low as -140 at other shops, but I have no idea why. BetRivers just always throwing out boosts, guys. I mean, it's one of my we don't have a promo with it. We don't have a partnership with them at all. Trust me, I've tried. We are Pennsylvania boys out here on the program. So, we of course have some love to our Pennsylvania sportsbook. But at the same time, no idea why they throw out boosts all this time. They just gave me a 50%. We took them for a ride last week on Larson outright. So I'm doing it again here. Layne Riggs. I got to -108 against Sammy Smith. And I just found this like a really odd matchup because Layne Riggs is a top 8 driver right now in the truck series. I think he has upside to be a top 3, top 5 driver. That's how the books and how we were viewing him coming into this season, with how good both he and his talent is and his Front Row Motorsports equipment, guys. Sammy Smith is someone who's coming into this race, though, who only has 5 career truck series starts. And he's driving Spire equipment that outside of that, Kyle Busch win earlier this season, the Kyle Larson win a couple weeks ago, this has not been great equipment. Even Kyle Larson, like some should argue that Corey Heim should have beat him in that first truck race he was in. So like this has not been great Spire equipment. It's not the same equipment we saw a year ago where Rajah's winning and all these other, people are coming in and just like lapping the field in Spire equipment. We have not seen that this year. Like even Michael McDowell, pretty underperforming. Justin Haley had a couple decent runs at Daytona in it, but I'm just like not buying the Spire trucks right now. And like Sammy Smith's a guy. Is anyone gonna cut Sammy Smith any slack right now for what he just did a couple of weeks ago in the Xfinity series? I sure as hell don't think so. So Sammy Smith did have 3 top 10s in his defense last year in 4 Truck Series races. So I get if you don't want to go against him with that. Still, Riggs was 3-1 against him during that time as well, and has an average finish of 6.0 at traditional ovals this season. Going back to that Darlington race last year, our closest comp track that we can pull anything from, Riggs finished P5 and P7 in the first 2 stages, had some late race issues, finished 21st, but still had a really good day going. And that was still pretty early on in his rookie season, early on in his development. So again, this was originally minus 134. I'm using a boost to get to minus 108. I would still lay it at minus 134. Probably wouldn't go as far as minus 140, but minus 134, very happy with that. So that's going to be a 2.5 unit play, one of my larger ones this weekend. And I'll bring us home here with just a really strange one. I thought ESPN bet threw out. I don't think Grant Enfinger should ever, the finger, guys, the finger. I don't think he should ever be plus money against Kaden Honeycutt. Really, honestly, he's better in the points right now. He's 7th, Caden's 11th, average running position 11.3, Kaden 16.3, average finish 11.2, Kaden 16.3. Again, like driver rating, Enfinger's 87.2, going down to Kaden Honeycutt 78.2. So like it's just I don't get this one like necessarily. Like I don't think, unless this is like I didn't research it and it was Kaden Honeycutt's home track or something. I have no idea why he's so heavily favored. Like he's like minus 135 or minus 140 something on this against Grant. And like I don't get to bet plus money matchups because I bet the favorite so often, these sons of bitches. But this is one of those that just like stuck out to me as weird. Kind of like that Ross Chastain one a couple weeks ago against Chandler Smith. I was just like, Ross should not be plus money against him. And like Grant has not had the best finishes the last 2 races at this at Darlington, but he had 6 straight stage point finishes and 4 straight top 10s there from 2022 back. So like he's still good there. He hasn't had the best finishes lately, but he's still consistently running up there at those races. Honeycutt might show more upside, I think, than Grant Enfinger on a week-to-week basis. Like we can't kid ourselves about that. Like Honeycutt damn near won a race a couple weeks ago. Like Kaden Honeycutt's a good little driver. I like him, but Grant's like that old steady veteran. Like the tortoise wins the race here, and that's Grant Enfinger in this one. You might see Kaden Honeycutt get up to 5th or 4th, and you might be sweating this one out for a minute. He'll fade eventually. He'll go and burn out his tires, and Grant will pass him. I wouldn't worry about this, and like especially like we're heading to a track in the Rock where we haven't been there, so we just don't know what to expect, and like. I don't want a young guy like Kaden Honeycutt. I want a guy, Grant Enfinger, a guy who's been to championship 4s, a guy who has pedigree in this sport to get it done. So yeah, so I just really, really like this. Again, I don't get to bet plus money head to heads too often. So Grant Enfinger, plus 110 ESPN bet against our guy Kaden Honeycutt there. And my other Truck Series bet, Layne Riggs minus 108 at BetRivers against Sammy Smith. Going back to the Xfinity side, we're also going to be fading Kasey Kahne. Carson Kvapil minus 110 at Caesars. I'm tossing a little bit of a shekel over there on William Sawalich, top 10, 4-1 at Caesars. And then my outrights there in the Xfinity again, Connor Zilisch on the 10-1 at DraftKings, and a little Carson Kvapil 14-1 at FanDuel. Guys, a little bit of a quicker show this week. Solo one. Elliot and Rod. Elliot will definitely be back with me next week. I think we have Rod 2 weeks from now, but going to be a very, very busy spring for us. A lot of fun stuff happening both here at In Between Media and my personal life as well. So thank you guys so much for riding down with us on the back road. If you've rode with us this far, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the whole damn channel if you're new. We've got NFL betting, college football betting, NASCAR betting, PGA betting, and entertainment betting all to help you cash more and enjoy the ride along the way. Also, be sure to check out inbetweenmedia.com for some dope written content. We also have some upcoming live events, including a big fantasy football draft party, one of our favorite events every single year, Canton, Ohio this summer. We also have a golf tournament, and word on the street, might have a little NASCAR event happening here later this summer as well. So we'll keep you guys tuned in with that. I'm Seth Woolcock. Thanks for watching The Back Road. Keep it in between next time. Until next time, folks.